Hey everyone, it's Alison from Wholesome LLC. Lauren and I really have been wanting to show many of you how to make your own turmeric capsules. Now, a lot of my patients ask me about the benefits of turmeric and how they can be helpful for our health. The biggest thing about turmeric that I love is that it's anti-inflammatory and it can also be anti-angiogenic. What that means is that when a cancer tumor creates its own blood supply, or angiogenesis, what the turmeric can do is actually be anti-angiogenesis, which means that it's going to cut off that blood supply to the tumor, which is something that we really want to have happen for cancer patients. But like I said, it is an excellent anti-inflammatory, but the biggest thing that I like to refer to all times is research. And research really points to the fact that turmeric and then curcumin has some really great benefits to it. So for example, you can probably see a little bit that my fingers are already a little bit yellow. I have been making a little bit of turmeric capsules already today, and turmeric is truly what gives its yellow color to things like curry or even mustard that you might be familiar with. So it does stain things yellow a little bit, but it does go away eventually. So for many of you who have been on Wholesome LLC before or know some of the research that I get into, one of my favorite places for research is through Dr. Michael Greger and How Not to Die. He also has a website called nutritionfacts.org, which is one of my favorite resources to help educate other individuals because he is truly a wealth of knowledge and evidence-based practice for nutrition. So I just wanted to pull up his book called How Not to Die, which is one of my favorite books. I'm a total nutrition nerd, so if you've met with me before, you know that I love to refer to this book and do a lot of reading and a lot of research, even when the book is a little bit fat. So the first thing that I wanted to show was that research has shown that turmeric and curcumin, which is the active component of turmeric, has played a role in preventing or treating lung disease, brain disease, and a variety of cancers, including multiple myeloma, colon cancer, and pancreatic cancer. It has also been shown to help speed recovery after surgery and effectively treat rheumatoid arthritis better than the leading drug of choice. It's also been shown to be effective in treating osteoarthritis and other inflammatory conditions such as lupus and inflammatory bowel disease. And one last thing, a trial for ulcerative colitis found that 50% of patients achieved remission within just 1 month of using curcumin compared to none of the patients who received the placebo. So if you follow along with our story at Wholesome LLC, you know that my sister and business partner, Lauren, has been diagnosed with lupus, and we actually work on her diet and her healthy lifestyle to help manage this disease. And one of the things that is part of that healthy lifestyle is using turmeric within foods, but also making our own turmeric capsules. Now, one of the reasons that you want to make your own turmeric capsules is truly because, unfortunately, supplements are not regulated by the FDA. And truly, that is a problem from the standpoint of you don't know exactly what's in the product. Does it really contain what it says it contains or the amount of what it contains? Do they use different fillers to try to make the product seem like there's more of it when really they're using a little bit less? And really just all for your overall protection so you know exactly what you're putting in your body. So when we make our own turmeric capsules, we use very simple ingredients, and that is turmeric and black pepper. The reason that we want to use black pepper is because black pepper and something within the black pepper called piperine can actually enhance the bioavailability or the body's ability to use the turmeric by upwards to 2,000%. So really all you need is just ground turmeric and a pinch of black pepper to help with that. Now, Dr. Greger in How Not to Die, one of his biggest recommendations is to try to consume at least 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric every single day. So by the capsules that we're using today, which are actually a size 0, this will fit actually 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric. So this is a wonderful size capsule to be able to use and take 1 per day, and that will get you your daily dose of one of the daily dozen that Dr. Greger recommends. So I'm going to show you now how we actually make these turmeric capsules, and it's really simple, so let's get started. One of the biggest things that I wanted to do was to make this capsule making very easy. And it's actually something kind of therapeutic that Lauren and I like to do. We like to listen to music while we do it, help each other out, but you can definitely do it with just one person, like I'm going to show you today. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have vegetarian capsules. We use vegetarian capsules that are not animal-based. So we use a vegetarian capsule that we'll link to in the notes below and in the blog so that you can get exactly which ones we're using if you'd like. The first thing that you want to do is actually separate the capsule. So you'll notice in the capsule there's one short end and there's a long end. The biggest thing that you want to do is just make sure that you separate them, and what we do is we put them in their own little containers so we know what part is what. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and separate a couple of these to show you that it's as simple as this, kind of therapeutic as well. All right, and I obviously already had some of these pre-done. So I have this capsule maker, which is a size 0 capsule maker. So it is meant to fit this exact size capsule. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use what I have labeled as part 1 of the capsule maker. So this is part 1, you can identify it this way. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to take part 2 and we're going to lay it on top of part 1. You'll notice that it doesn't move around too much. So I'm just going to center this in front of me. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the long end capsule and we're actually going to sprinkle it into this capsule maker here. Now this is definitely not a perfect process by any means, but it's something that can help simplify the process and make it go a little bit quicker. You'll have to rework some of these and pull some of them out and put them back in, but for the most part it's relatively easy. What I'm doing now is I am just filling in some of the gaps where the long capsules didn't make it in. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these out. What we're going to try to do then is we are going to take part 2 off, and as you can see there's a couple more hanging here and we'll just move them. Now if you take part 1, use your fingers and push it down, you'll notice that there are a couple that are upside down and actually a couple that are missing. So this is where having a partner can be a little bit easier with you, that one can push down and one can pull piece out. So I'm just going to flip them back around. We are all set. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take the turmeric. So what we do is we just add the turmeric into a large bowl, add the black pepper, and stir it around until it's evenly mixed. So in the beginning, just take a spoonful of the turmeric and you can spread it out on top of piece 1 with the already filled capsules. Now with the capsule maker comes something that's going to help you spread the turmeric around, and really what you want to do is try to make sure you have the turmeric filled into all of the holes by spreading it around. And you want to do it until all of the holes are full pretty completely, because that will ensure that we are going to get the 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric that we want to aim for every single day, with the pinch of black pepper already included. So as you can see, all the holes are full, so I'm just going to remove some of the excess. And the next step is to take part number 4, and you'll see the pegs, and it's gonna place right into it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push down, and what this is gonna do is it's going to pack the turmeric down into the capsules so that we can make sure we are getting the capsule completely full of turmeric as much as possible. We're gonna take some of it off. Take part number 4, flip it upside down, and make sure you pack the turmeric down. As you can see here, when we're pushing in, we are getting much closer to the top. So we're only going to have to do this process maybe 2 more times. All right, I'm really not getting those capsules down much further. So I'd say right about here is when you know that it's not going to take any more. The thing I'm going to do is grab part 3 and part 2, which we used before, and add part 2 right on top of part 3. And then I'm going to take the small pieces of the capsules and pour it in just like we did before with the larger capsules. I'm going to take the extras out here. You'll notice that many of these are going to be needed to flip over. It's not a perfect process, but it does help you make the capsules a lot quicker in the long run. And this is where, if you have somebody that is helping you, what they can do while you're filling the turmeric into the capsules, they can do this so that it's all set to go. Now have all the capsules full. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take part 5 and add it on to part 3. Now, slowly flip over and add on top to your turmeric capsules. As you can see, they're aligned. The next thing that we're going to do is I actually stand up doing this, and you're going to push down, and you should be able to feel, but everything kind of snaps in. Right, so I'm going to take the orange part off, and I do have a paper towel set here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop them out, and I like to put it on the piece of paper towel. Sometimes you'll have an occasional one that will break apart. Just set that aside. This is the piece that's open. And that'll happen occasionally. And the last thing that you want to do is really bring the capsule, and you hold it, and you'll hear a tiny little snap, and that will ensure that the capsule is closed. Now, many of them may already be that way, but it's nice to just go through. So what you can do is you can just take another container, and so you know that you put them through, you can snap them, and you'll be all set to go. So there you have it. This is how we make our turmeric capsules at home with a little bit of black pepper. On average, there's lots of different turmeric supplements out there, but I would say a really good high quality one is going to run about $35, sometimes upwards to $50 per 30 capsules. We can make about 500 to 1,000 capsules for about $50 to $60. So this is a big cost savings. You know exactly what is in the turmeric capsule: turmeric, black pepper, and a vegetable-based capsule. And you can take this once a day. Sometimes individuals can take a little bit more. Be sure to read the blog, because I will cover if there is a time when someone shouldn't take turmeric. Really what I do when I take my turmeric capsules is I keep this in an old honey jar that I keep in the refrigerator, and when I'm on my way up to bed, I fill up a glass of water, open up the fridge, take a turmeric capsule, and go to bed. And it does not need to be kept in the fridge. That's just what works for me in order to remember to take it, because I'm filling up my water right at the fridge. So make sure you wash your hands up and clean up any yellow stain if you don't want it to get all over a few things. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video of how to make your own turmeric capsules for anti-inflammatory and anti-angiogenic properties. And if you like this video, please let us know, and we'll be doing more soon. Thanks. Bye, everyone.